Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, I took a little minute to get back with y'all, man. But you know what I'm saying? I think on the last video I had left off, I was telling y'all, I was on G Block, and I started working. One of them sergeants started let me work, play SSI and shit. So by 2015, I was already in the highway. You know what I'm saying? One card I was there from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. and the other card, I was there from like 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, a card is something that the officers work. They work 4 days on and 4 days off. And that's how they shifts be. So I'm gonna tell you how that happened. One thing I learned on Ferguson was being consistent. You know what I'm saying? On paperwork and documentation, I wasn't even qualified to be an SSI or have a job. None of that. I was a non-gang member. I was a medical squad all the way up to like 2023. But on G part, I told you C-Long, my freeware homie, Cornelius Matthews, RIP, he was up under me. He was on one row on the cell directly up under me. I was on two rows. So one day, he started complaining that he had a knot on his back. So I felt it, and sure enough, it was a knot back there. But I'm thinking probably like with a little bit of stretching, you know what I'm saying, it should be good. He kept going to medical, and they was telling him like drink water, take non-aspirins, you know what I'm saying? But it got to the point where he told me, man, call Trouble Oak. Now, Trouble Oak is his brother, my freeware homie, you know what I'm saying? So I called Trouble Oak and tell him, man, C-Don say, call Huntsville on these people, man. You know what I'm saying? He got a knot on his back. They started telling him drink water and shit. So sure enough, yeah, he called down there. So they ended up sending C-Lon to a freeware hospital in Galveston. You know what I'm saying? So about a week later, he come back. I see him in the highway, man. He had already lost a lot of weight. He had walked up to me. He had tears coming down his eyes. So I'm kind of looking at him like, damn, like, what's up, C-Lon? He said, man, remember that night I was telling you? I'm like, yo. He said, man, they had cut it open. They weren't supposed to cut it open. He said, black shit, blood and pus started coming out. And that triggered the sickness. He said, man, I'm sick now, man. Like, I can't eat. I can't stand up too long. I get tired. He said, man, when people talking about I got stage 4 cancer. So I was kind of looking at like, damn, like, stage 4 cancer. I didn't know how to respond, man. Like, he was shedding tears, I shed tears. That was my free world partner. I'm talking about since we were little. I'm talking about from sharing Star Crunches, sharing Jungle Juices, you know what I'm saying? Like, we shared everything. So he talking about stage 4 cancer, man. I ain't understand. I'm like, damn, like, what's up? He said, man, I got to go back to the hospital in a week. They got to send me to a medical unit, you know what I'm saying? Like they got to kind of like, I can't live like over here, you know what I'm saying? My body getting weak. So I'm like, damn, they had moved him to J-Port. So we was meeting up at church and shit, you know what I'm saying? Me, him, said, Monkey, KO, or probably like 8-9 individuals, you know what I'm saying? So I was taking like 4 bars and shit for the pain. They ended up running commissary the next day. So I bought us a shake, meal replacements. You know what I'm saying? That's like a protein shake. You put water in and mix it up. It's supposed to be like high protein thing. So I just was trying to like make sure he keep his energy, keep his strength up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't eat. So man, that fourth day, I seen him. He came with like a paper sack. I looked in, it had a big old stack of pictures. So I'm like, damn, what's this, C-Lon? He say, man, oh, I want you to have these. So I'm like, ain't these your pictures? He like, yo. I said, man, I ain't finna take your pictures, C-Lon. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what we got. You know what I'm saying? Our pictures like that. That's our free word shit. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, man, I feel like this the last time I'm gonna see you. So I'm like, man, quit talking like that, man. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, man, I want you to have. Like I say, man, I was fucked up, man. I ain't know how to respond. So I end up giving him some of my pictures. Like I wanted to give him something, you know what I'm saying? So when C-Lon ended up burning off, it was like man, I continue to do what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? Still working, you know, being around, just being able to walk around the unit, and they end up moving me to K-Pod. Was supposed to be like a privilege. Now K-Pod is on the four corners. The four corners is I, J, K, and L. Like the cells are a little bit bigger. Like them is like people who got jobs. So man, I end up kind of like going to a dark place, man. Being in the cell, I won't come out for like 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I can come out and really just walk around. I can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I was just wondering how C-Long was doing. So, man, probably like about 2 weeks later, I just started staying in the cell, man. I started staying in the cell and just smoking, popping four bars, you know what I'm saying? It got to the point where I was having tuna attacks. You know, I kind of like was going to a dark place, man. I ended up running out of K2 probably like 2 weeks later from that. So I come out, you know what I'm saying? I come out, hit the highway and pulled up on Flacco from D-Town, Tango Blast. So I pulled up on Flacco, shot him $400. He gave me like 25 four bars and a free world ounce of K2. You know what I'm saying? So I had came back and you know, I was getting loaded and shit. So probably like 32 days from the day that C-Lon had left, I had a little routine going already on K-Port. I used to fuck with my neighbor Payaso. He was Tango Blast. Like when I'm finna go to sleep, I'll pass him my phone, let him go ahead and rock out and shit. So when I wake up, I'll go ahead and get it back. So that's like the schedule I had. So I don't be sleeping none in my cell. So like I said, probably like 32 days later, I wake up, bang on the wall, my regular morning routine. I'm like, y'all shoot me the phone over here. So he sent it over there. So I called Trouble. Shit, he answered and shit. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, Trouble? You know what I'm saying? Have you heard of C-Lon? So he was like, nah. But he got quiet for like 4 seconds. So after 4 seconds, he was like, man, say, cuz I gotta tell you, cause if I don't, you gonna be fucked up with me. I'm like, what's up? He said, man, they called me this morning. C-Lon was supposed to come home, but his body was too weak. He passed away this morning. So I just hung the phone up, passed the phone to Payaso, smoked me a half a stick and passed out. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up waking up later, probably a little bit later, I ended up waking up in the same routine, like a deja vu, bang on the wall, send the phone over there. I called Trouble again, though. He answered. I'm like, man, say, Trouble, did I call you this morning? He like, yeah, did you say something about C-Lon? He was like, yeah, cuz he passed away this morning. So I'm like, damn, man, like, I hung up again. And smoked me another half stick and went back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, man, a whole different type of aggression started surfacing, man. Like, I was angry, you know what I'm saying? I was mad. So I ended up coming out, you know what I'm saying, hitting the wings and shit, just hitting the block. But I started kind of thinking about like who gave C-Lon a hard time or who ain't like him or I was just kind of like just lurking, you know what I'm saying? I was busting shit down one day on one road, you know what I'm saying? I'm stacking some shit up. I had popped a few four bars and they ran it in and out. In and out is like when they count the day room, they'll tell everybody to come out the day room and line up, you know what I'm saying, when they doing count time in the penitentiary. And Negro, it was an essay. I can't remember where he was from, but he come down the run like, hey man, I got a lighter still, $10, free word lighter. So I heard that. I'm like, shit, I want that. You know what I'm saying? Come over here. So he like, you know what I'm saying? Well, you got some smoke? I'm like, man, look, I'm gonna give you 5 sticks of some gas. You know what I'm saying? That was going 2 for $5 at the time. I said, man, I'm gonna give you, 2 for $5 at the time. So I tell him, man, I'm gonna give you 5 sticks and $4 good money. You know what I'm saying? Just where you can have you something to smoke and you know what I'm saying, you have you something to eat too. So he like, man, that's a bit. I said, all right, let me get it together. You know, I'm finna roll it up real quick. So he like, all right, let me use this lighter right quick and burn out. So man, I put the $4 by the door, roll the sticks up, waiting for them to come back out the day room and like, like an hour and 30 minutes later, You know what I'm saying? I see inmates on the run again, so I get the collar for them. But the 4 balls already kicked in by now, you know what I'm saying? So, shit, I called the nigga, man, what nigga? So he come down, I'm like, man, where that light at? He said, man, I already sold it. So me, you know what I'm saying? The 4 balls already kicked in, so I'm like, shit, you already sold it. Man, say, man, look at this shit, man. I'm from beat your bitch ass, and you may roll this shit up for nothing, you know what I'm saying? So the essays was like, man, nigga, you better answer that shit, nigga. We finna beat your bitch ass, you know what I'm saying? So I strap up real quick, and my door open. I could pop my door at the time, so I pop my door, you know what I'm saying? Open the door. When Negro walked in, I beefed off on him as soon as he walked in, so Negro grabbed me. Now, one thing I can say about Negro, man, Negro was strong in the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a grip on me, like, I really couldn't, you know what I'm saying? So, in my head, I'm like, man, okay, this nigga want to grab me. I'm finna make nigga touch everything in this bitch. So, I made nigga touch the sink, the wall, the other wall, and I dunked him, you know what I'm saying? Getting on top of him. So, I'm trying to max him out, but the way he had his hands in front of my shoulders, I really couldn't hit him like I want to. You know what I'm saying? I really couldn't do what I want to do. So, like I say, Negro was strong to be. So it got to the point where I'm like, all right, man, I'm good, man. Let me go. You know what I'm saying? So he like, man, you good? I said, yeah, man, let me, you know what I'm saying? Quick grab me, man. Let me up. You know what I'm saying? So we get up. I beefed off on him again. Negro come out the cell, get the back pedal. So I spit in his face thinking that's going to make him commit to me, like make him come to me. But he like, man, I'm good, man. I'm done. I spit in that nigga face again. But he kept backpedaling. He wouldn't let me just get up on him like that. Man, I spit in that nigga face 4 times. And you know what I'm saying? He still backpedaling. So I started hearing like a whole bunch of hollering, like familiar voices like Big June from D-Town, just a lot of voices like, "Folk trade, chill out, bitch. You know what I'm saying? You finna go to jail, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Quit tripping on." So I'm hearing this shit. So that's what made me just look around and see what was going on. Man, then realization hit. You know what I'm saying? Like me and Negro, we was the only 2 motherfuckers on one road. The whole time, I'm thinking this is in and out account time. It was rec time. Everybody else was in the cell. And on 2 road, you had this new law. He get on the walkie-talkie. So I already knew the laws was coming. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I went ahead and went in the cell. I grabbed my speaker, act like I was trying to adjust it. And sure enough, like 4 laws pulled up in my cell, including Sergeant McKinley. Like I say, the laws already knew me and stuff. So they're like, man, what's going on, folk trade, man? They say you fighting down here. So I'm like, no, so there ain't nothing going on, man. You know, I just woke up, man. I be talking shit, you know what I'm saying? But I apologize for the inconvenience. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna get ready to chill out, man. Go back to sleep, you know what I'm saying? So he started laughing. He like, all right, man, just, you know what I'm saying? Get you some rest, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, sir, you know what I'm saying? So they burn out. About 15 minutes later, they pull right back up saying that new law, Kim, he called back and say he anticipated a situation at breakfast, so they had to lock me up. So they end up taking me to P Wayne, which is a seg Wayne, because the original lockup is that's on X Wayne, but that was already full. You know what I'm saying? They put me in overflow over there. Probably like 15 minutes later, I see my nigga Monkey pulling up. Monkey from Wet Data, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, like, what, man, what's going on? So when the laws burn off, I'm like, damn, what's up, Monkey? He said, man, Trey, these hoes talking about I whooped 2 niggas on 2 different pods. So I'm like, he said, you know, I ain't gonna lie to you, Trey. Like, I just knocked out BCS. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't do nothing to that nigga Paris. I don't know what happened to that nigga. They talking about his shoulder dislocated or some shit. So I'm like, damn, you know, Monkey just get to going out. He like, man, I don't know no motherfucking karate dislocating nigga shoulder, nigga, I box. You know what I'm saying? So in the cells, they had us in. I'm talking about it wasn't number steel and concrete again. It wasn't no mattress in there, no sheets, no blankets, nothing in there. You know what I'm saying? So we over there with Big Josh and Folk Trey Smoke Low. They was on 1 row, we was on 3 rows. So they holler up there, they heard us talking. And they like, man, what y'all got anything up there? I'm like, man, they just locked us up. We ain't got our property, none of this shit. So he like, man, I'm gonna send y'all a blanket and a sheet up there. You know what I'm saying? I got an extra one. So he ended up sending with the SSIs, you know what I'm saying, whenever they came through over there. So me and Monkey, we just busting everything down. That blanket, we cut that in half. That sheet, we cut that in half. You know what I'm saying? So we got we got some to cover up with, some to lay on, you know what I'm saying? So I tell Monkey, I said, man, I'm finna send for my Jag, you know what I'm saying? I tell her what happened with me, you know, but I was still kind of fooling 4 boys. I'm like, when the SI come back, I'm gonna tell them go get my phone. You know what I'm saying? So they go get it and shit. We call out, but I tell the SI go take it back. You know, I just get it when I get out. I ain't wanna I ain't had no stash spot or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we stayed in there like probably like 5 days, and they end up letting us out. And they put me back on K Wayne. Negro, I ended up seeing Negro one day at church. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting with Sissy, matter of fact. So, like I say, I was full of them 4 bars. So I really was kind of tripping, you know what I'm saying? I see Negro going to the restroom at church. You know, I was already sober then, so I tell Sissy, I said, man, they go that nigga right there. He said, man, leave the nigga alone, man. You know, I said, man, I'm finna go stir the nigga right quick. So he go in the restroom. I pop up in the restroom. I'm like, yeah, nigga, what's up? He like, nah, man, just chill, man. I said, nah, I'm just bullshit. What's up, Negro, man? That's my bad. You know what I'm saying? So he gave me a hug. I mean, he shook my hand and reached to give me a hug. So I'm like, man, nigga, get the fuck about me. You know, like I ain't know what he was on, but he had tears coming down his eyes. I'm like, man, what's wrong with this nigga? You know what I'm saying? He said, say, man, I appreciate that the other day, man. Like, I feel like I was put in this situation so I could stop smoking. He said, man, I quit smoking and everything, man, because all that was behind me smoking, being on some dope fiend shit, you know what I'm saying? So, like, man, I appreciate it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, you good, you know what I'm saying? So, shit, he burned out. I go tell Sissy, I said, man, I tell him what happened. He like, man, for real. I said, man, I don't know what that dude got going on. So, man, it's back to working and just moving around the unit. They ain't really do shit. They dropped me from I think that was S4 to a line 1, but they kept me over there where I was. But